Hi, welcome to Gladys Creations. Today is going to be my first video tutorial that I'm going to be giving you on crochet. And we're going to start with some acrylic yarn, something really simple. I got this a while ago, and this is what I call 1 pounder. I got this a long time ago. They probably don't have this type of yarn anymore, but this is a good way to save money, is to get 1 pounders. I get a lot of them, okay? Now, with crochet, there's several size needles, okay? And this one, these are the most used in crochet right here. You can buy these in a set. They come in a little purse and stuff. I have 1,000 needles, okay? So I try to get all the same brand. I don't think they're all the same brands, but the best one I like to use are Susan Bates, because if you look at the crochet hooks, you see how it's nice and rounded here. I don't like when it has a sharp point. I don't like, you see how these are rounded right here. I don't like that point to be really sharp. I like it to be rounded. Now let me move my camera up a little bit more, or move everything down more, a little closer this way. Okay, we'll do that because I want you to have a good view. All right, so they go in alphabetical order, okay, and it starts from E, F, G, H, I, and J. All right, these are the most popular hooks that you will use the most. But these two here, well, these three here are the most popular ones, H, I, and J. A lot of things are made with them. And it goes from A being the smallest, which would be like a 0, because it goes 0, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. I've never seen an O. I don't know if I have. I might have it. I mean, I have every needle you can think of. I have a needle that's like that fat. All right. So there's like really big sizes and stuff. But these are the most that you will be using. And today we're going to be working with these two. Okay. The H and the I. Because they're the easiest to learn with. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn, and I'm going to jump right into this, and then at the end I'm going to give you a pattern guide, and which will tell you how to do read abbreviations, okay, so you will be able to follow a pattern. I'll leave it on the screen for a little bit so you can see everything and have a chance to screenshot it. Okay? But what we're going to do right now is we're going to start with this yarn. Now, when you start a yarn, the proper way to pull a yarn is to go right in the center and pull that out. It's usually, you see your sign, it's usually to the left side. Okay, right now I'm having it facing you, so it's to my right side, and the camera is showing it to the right side, but it's usually on the left side. Okay, it'll be on that side. Okay, the camera showing it as to the right, but it's really the left. Okay, usually that's where you can pull your beginning string, and you want to keep it that way, because as you pull, watch, as you pull, see, it's a nice smooth pull. Okay, sometimes you'll see a piece hanging out like that and it'll be hard to pull. That means that it's the wrong end. Okay, so always remember that you pull your yarn from the center on the left side. Okay, now we're gonna take and make, to begin everything, you want to begin with a slip knot. Okay, so you have your yarn like this. You're gonna make like a cursive letter E, a loop like that, right? Then you're gonna take this loop right here and go in the loop, in the hole, take it in and pull it out. Hold your both ends and pull it. There, that made that loop. That is considered a slip knot. And the reason why it's a slip knot is because when you put your needle in here, you pull on the long line, okay, not this short line. Okay, this is the short line and this is your long line. You pull on this, it's gonna, on this line right here, this one, it brings it up, tightens it up, just like that. You see that? And then you always want your slip knot that you can move your needle up and down, because this is the motion that you're going to be using. Now, you can either take your hand and cup your needle, hold your needle like this, however you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I feel comfortable with holding my needle like this in a cup. All right, now you want to put, you see how the needle has a flat side on it right there? You see how it's flat in there? You're going to put your thumb on one side, and you're going to put your pointer finger on the other. And that's how you control your needle. Just like like a sewing machine that goes that's exactly what you're going to do. Now, with crocheting, the whole thing is your hand. Your hand is like a sewing machine. I tell everybody that, okay? So what you're going to do is, let me pull back just a little bit here. Right there. There we go. I just wanted to pull a little bit back so you could see more of my hand. This is really, really important, because in crocheting, your hands are like a sewing machine, okay? So we're gonna thread our machine. This is our machine right here. This is where your tension is controlled, okay? So what you're going to do is this long needle, the one that's connected, the long thread, the one that's connected to your yarn. This is connected to the yarn. This is the end, okay? The end will stay over here with the needle. Over here, you're going to take your hands and like a scissors, you're going to put underneath your thread, underneath these three fingers, your middle finger, ring finger, and pointer finger. And you're going to twist your hand like that, so your hand, the yarn goes over your pointer finger, right? Now, here's the hard part, okay? Because a lot of people get this confused, but this is really important. How you control your tension is this finger and this finger, your thumb and your ring finger. You're going to hold that knot right there to start. Then you're going to keep moving up. And I say never crochet, never chain more than 5, because then if you chain more than 5, stitch is going to be baggy. Okay, now you see what I did with these two other fingers. You see that the yarn is over, right, and then it hangs down here, right? Let's move this one out of the way. You see how it's running under my hand right here? You want this finger and this finger is what's going to hold the tension of your thread. But you don't want to hold it tight that you can't pull it. You want to be able to pull it. Leave it so it's like rubbing against your fingers. That's it. Okay? So that's all you want to do for now. Okay? And that's how you hold it. You see my hand? Okay? I want you to look at it really good. Alright? And what I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take my hand out. And I'm going to come in. I'm going to come like a scissors. Grab it. Pull it up. Turn my hand around. Get my middle finger and my thumb to grab the knot. My ring finger and my pinky. Okay, right there. You see them? They're grabbing that yarn on the bottom. So this is what your hand should look like when you're crocheting. Okay? Now, we're going to do a chain stitch. Alright? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to have our hook facing upwards. See this? The hook is facing upwards. Alright? And you want to go under your yarn and hook it. And then you're going to go turning it to the side. And you're going to go, as you turn it to the side, you're going to go downward once you get to the loop and pull it through the loop. Like that. We did our first chain. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Go under, roll to the side, and pull it through. Now you notice that my loop is not big. I just have it that it's just like that much away from, so my hook could slip through that there. Because if you can't slip through there, then and it's too tight, your chain is going to be too tight. Alright? So we're going to do it again one more time. You're going to go under and go over, turning it and turning and going under, and then you pull it through, and there you go. We got 3 chains. All right, I'm gonna pause for 1 minute and I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back again. All right, so I'm sorry I was interrupted there, but here we have, all right, the 3 stitches, right, that we just made. And I'm going to make, you notice how I moved my finger from the knot up? That's what you do. You move up into the stitches. Now you see my thumb is holding the stitches. Alright, so we're going to go into the 4th one. And then the 5th one. Alright, and I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to show you how you read your stitches. Now, if you look at this, to you, it looks like a bunch of knots. Okay? And this is what we call a chain. Alright? And if you look at it, let me get the smaller needle here to help show you. If you look here closely, let's move this one out. Alright? You see a V. Right here, you see that V? Those are your stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, I'll show you again. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer. It might get blurry. I hope not. All right, so if you look, there's V's in the stitches. Okay, those are your stitches. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and here's 5. Okay, you see that? All right, now let's say your stitches are all wonky and they're not in rhythm like this, that they're nice and smooth. You see how pretty that looks? Nice, pretty even. All right, and let's say yours are crazy, and they're going to be, all right, because you can have some that are bigger, some that are smaller, and until you perfect this, okay, and not perfect it, because you don't have to make it perfect. Mine aren't that perfect. You notice how here they're tighter and they get looser. I'm a loose crocheter, so you'll see me that I'll even do that, and I'm gonna show you a tip on how to help you when you're first learning. That's why I pulled out the H and the I, because one is smaller than the other, and there's a reason why I do that. Now, right now, what I'm gonna do here is you pull this out, and it's really simple to pull out. You're gonna grab the thread that's connected to your yarn. You're gonna grab that thread and you're gonna pull it, and voila, look at that, your stitches are gone. All right, they're gone. Okay, and that's how you undo your work. So it's not like you have to keep cutting off your yarn and starting over, cutting off your yarn. All you do is just pull it out. All right, now this is another tip I'm going to teach you before we go on to our next step. Okay, because I'm going to show, that's one stitch is called the chain stitch. Okay, and that's the base of whatever you make, whatever stitch you're using, whatever you're going to crochet. Your foundation stitch is called a foundation chain. There's stitches that later on, not now and not for a while, will I teach you how to do a crochet without doing a chain. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start this over again. But you notice I picked up the other needle. I was crocheting with this one, which was an H, right? Now, if I recommend for you to start this like this and do what I'm doing right now, because most crocheters, when you're beginners, most beginners crochet tight, and then you run into the problem that you can't get your needle in. Until you get used to it, go one hook higher than what you're using. So we're going to be crocheting with an H hook, but we're going to start our foundation chain with an I hook. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to do our loop, right? Make the E, right? And the loose one, this loose one is going to be on the top. You're going to bring this over and push it through your loop and pull, and there you go. You got your knot. Then you just pull on this and it brings it down smaller. Okay, we're going to put our I hook in here. Okay, and you notice, look, see, I can just easily move my needle back and forth. You want that. Now remember how to hold it. You go in like a scissors, bring it up, grab with your middle finger and your thumb the knot. Your ring finger and your pinky is going to be holding your yarn. Okay, and it's just to hold it in place. Okay, it's not to hold it tight, it's just to hold it so it doesn't go anywhere. That's all you're going to do. It's only going to come through here. You want this to be loose like that. Okay, you don't want it tight. All right, some people will pull this really tight like that. Look, that's too tight, and then your stitches will be tight. Relax, just let it just lay in your hand like that, And that, look at, nice flexibility. Look, see, when I pull it, you see that? When I go like that, it goes right through. That's what you want, all right? So let's start here. We're gonna go again. Our needle is facing upwards. We're gonna go under our thread. We're gonna bring it and turn our needle and go all the way through our loop like that. That's one. Make sure you keep that like that. You don't want to make it like this, and you don't want it like that. You want it to be right there like that, so that your needle can move nicely, but not all like this and move. You see that? You don't want that, because this is what you're gonna get. Then you see that? Look at, you see the big difference? You don't want that. All right, so you want to bring it down so it's nice and just movable. And you don't want it tight, because if you pull it tight like that to the needle, look at, you see that? That's tight. And people be like, oh, fighting to get the needle in there, and then it's tighter. When you go back in there, you're not going to be able to go back in there. All right, so you don't want that. You want it to be nice like that. So let's do chain number 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Look at that, nice 5, right? So now we're gonna move our middle finger and thumb up here, and you're gonna always like choke. I call it choke your needle. Okay, so you're gonna choke it right there, and then you're gonna go under, over, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we go. We got 10 chains. Okay, you want to count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now that is 10 stitches. Now we're going to learn to do another stitch, and that's going to be it for today. I'm only going to teach you those few stitches, and then I'm going to teach you something that you can make with those 3 stitches, something really simple. Okay, so we got 10, right? So whenever you're going to start crocheting and going to the next row, you have to chain. Now this is called a single crochet. So a single crochet is 1 chain, 1 stitch level. Okay, it goes single crochet, half double, double, treble, and that's it. And then those stitches create other stitches. You use them in combination to make other stitches. All right, so the chain is a stitch, a single crochet, which is what I'm going to teach you now, a half double, a double, and a treble. I'm going to be teaching you in the next couple weeks and groups of 2. All right, so today I'm going to teach you how to chain and single crochet. Then our next crochet class tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to half double and double crochet. Then I'm going to teach you how to treble, okay, which is usually the not used a lot. Okay, the most common are the 4 that I told you. The chain, which is what you just did, the single crochet, half double, double, and treble. Okay, the treble is not used that much, but all the other ones are used all the time. Okay, so now since we're gonna go up one, every time you go up to go back over again, notice how I'm gonna turn. I'm turning this way, right? I'm gonna be turning that way, but before I do that, whenever you go up a row, you chain a certain amount. For a single crochet, you're going to put one more extra chain. So you have 11. Now you have 11 single crochets. You're going to change to your H hook. This is the hook that I'm using right now. All right? Now what you're going to do is, here's our last loop that we did. We're not going to crochet in there. We're going to crochet in the second one and all the way down. What we're going to do is we're going to crochet into our chain. Okay? So what you're going to do is there's 2 loops on each side. One here and one right here. See? One right there and one right there. This is the first chain. This is the second chain. So if you hear a pattern say single crochet in the second chain, all right, this is the second chain right here. So we're going to go in the middle of that, right? So you're going to go in it, and when you go in it, you'll see that back here there's 2 loops, and here there's 1 loop, right? Because you went in there. And then you're just going to go under it and pull that through. And then you're going to have 2 loops like that. Now, when you do that, when you go in here like this, right? This is called yarn over. This step that I'm doing right now. Yarn over means you go under and over and then bring it through. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, right? When you have 2 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through both loops. And there you go. You got your first single crochet. Okay? Now, I'm going to do it again. Here's my next stitch. You see it right there? The V right here. So I'm going to go in there, right in the middle of the 2, yarn over and pull through. You got the 2 loops. You're going to yarn over again and pull through the 2 loops. There you go. You got 2. Then you're going to go again. You see how I'm pulling my yarn? And I have no problems with that. Alright, back to here again. Here, look at your stitches, and sometimes you gotta pull on them so you could see it. Right here, you see our new stitch, the V is right here. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna go under your thread, pull it through, have 2 loops on your needle. You're going to go under again to yarn over and pull through. Okay? Again, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to show you all 10 stitches, okay? You're going to find the V, go in, yarn over, pull it through, 2, yarn over, pull it through. Okay? Pull it so you can see your next chain. Your next chain is right there. You're going to go right in the middle, yarn over, pull through, have 2 on your needle, yarn over, pull through, and there you go. Again, one more time, well, a couple more times. You're going to go in, yarn over, pull through, have 2, yarn over, pull through. There you go. And then you're going to pull it again, go in, yarn over, pull it through, 2, pull through. Again, look for your stitch. See how you lay it? If you lay them like that on your finger, you're gonna see that we have 1, 2, 3 stitches left. Okay, ready? In, pull through the 2. In, pull out, pull through. In the last stitch, in, 2, and there you go. And there's our first row. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Nice, right? It's not perfect because I don't crochet perfect. I mean, like right here, it's really loose. You see that? I'm not perfect, but and I've been crocheting since I was 7, okay? And my grandmother taught me. And believe me, it wasn't fun. Getting smacked sometimes with a hairbrush, like, get it right. Yeah, that's how it was. All right. Now, if you want to know if you did it right, all you do is turn your stitches this way, back again this way, always that way, and then you're going to be able to count your stitches. Now, I always pull my thread, okay, so I don't lose that stitch, okay, because remember, if you pull on this, what's going to happen, your stitches are going to go away, all right? So we want to see if we did 10 stitches. So I'm going to bring this closer to the camera, all right? And we're going to count our stitches. Here's the first V, right? Let's count our V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, it twisted. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. See? We have 10 stitches. All right, so let's put our needle back in. All right, and what I'm gonna teach you is, now remember what I taught you before. I said every time you're gonna go back to the next row, you have to chain 1. So you're gonna chain 1, right? Turn your work over and put it this way. And this is your back side. This is the front. You notice how that looks different? Look at that. It's nice and flat in. And then your wrong side is usually like bubbly like that. You see that? Notice the difference? Another way to know is when you're on wherever you're working, always remember that when your tail is to your left, you're working on your right side. When it's on your right, you're on the wrong side, okay? So this is the wrong side, all right? So we already did the chain 1. Now here, and only for single crochets, do you crochet you do not skip a stitch. You crochet right into the first stitch. So you chained 1 and you're going to go in. You're going to go, now you're going to go under. Okay, you see that little hole there? You see those little holes? That little hole, like that. You're going to go in there and you're going to see that when you go in there, you have these 2 loops. I'm going to bring it up really close so you can see it. You're going to go under the V. You're going to go under that like that. And then you see this. Now watch when I separate it. You see that? You got the 2 loops, okay? So you're under the 2 loops like that. You're going to yarn over and pull it through. And then you have your 2 loops on here. And you're going to yarn over and pull through, okay? There goes the next hole. You see the next little hole? There's a little hole right there, right? So you're going to stick it in there. And you see that the V is right there. You see the V is right there. and you're gonna yarn over and pull it through, and you're gonna have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. See that? You see how nice and smooth and how squared cut that is? Because I chained 1 at the end. If you don't chain 1 and just single crochet, it's gonna go in an angle like that, and it's gonna pull your work in. Okay, so that's 2. All right, so where's our next stitch? Right there. Okay, you're gonna go in that hole right there, and you're gonna have the 2. You see the 2? There they are. Yarn over, pull through, you have 2. Yarn over, pull through, and there you go. We're on 3. Again, in that next hole, yarn over, pull through, have it right there, yarn over, pull through. Okay, go in, yarn over, pull through, you got 2, pull through. You're going to keep doing that all the way to the end. Watch. I'm going to not talk. I'm just going to let you see and watch. Just watch my needle. And I'm trying to go as slow as possible. Okay? And I'm ready to do my last one. Go to my last one, my last stitch, and go in there and pull it through, and there we are. There's our single crochet. Nice, right? All right, and then we're gonna count them again, just to make sure, because sometimes I'll skip a stitch. I've done it. I'm not perfect, far from perfect, okay? Now, here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 V's. You see them? Okay. Now, since I'm going to be changing my work and going now, I'm going to go back to the right side because this was the wrong side, right? So now we're going to go back to the right side. So we're chain 1. And we're going back to the right side. And then again, I'm going to do this and I want you to watch me. You see the holes right there on that top row? Not these holes down here. None of these down here. It's all the way up here. Okay? It's right to the top. Okay? So I'm going to angle it so you could see me go under it. See? You just roll under. Go through. Go through. Okay, and look at, you see that it feels tight because you see this, there's a piece of yarn that I pulled when I was crocheting. See this little piece of yarn right there? It was pulled. All right, so you could always take it out and do it again. Okay, so just go in, out, and pull through. Under, grab those 2, pull it, and go through. Go in the next hole, pull it, and get through. I'm going to come up really close to the camera now, okay? In this hole, over, and around, and over. In, over, and around. In, and you see that? I only grabbed 1. Go in and make sure you grab 2. You see now that I have 2? Before I only had 1. Over and around. In the hole, make sure you have your 2. Yarn over and around. In, around. In and around. In, over, and around. There you go. And then we have all 10. Okay? now that you learned that, I'm going to show you how to make something, okay? So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to give you something that you can make after you learn how to do your stitches all on your own, okay? So I'll be right back, and I'm going to teach you then how to make a little washcloth, okay? We're going to do a little washcloth, all right? Okay, and I'm back. Now we're going to go back to the beginning and start over. And this is a little thing if you want to write down everything, or what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to write it down, the pattern for you, and I'm going to have it at the end of the video, the pattern. And I'm also going to give you today the guide on how to read your patterns, okay? You could also get a guide online. All you do is type in free crochet stitch guide, and when you type that in, it should come up right away. You're gonna see like little charts, and they have the US and the UK. They usually show you both because some patterns come from UK, okay? So you'll have this stitch guide for both, but usually anything that's made in the United States, or even Spanish or whatever, you can always do a Google Translate, and it'll translate everything for you. But I normally don't like to do that. That's really confusing, especially for a beginner, okay? And in my next tutorial, because I don't want to overwhelm you today, and in my next tutorial, I'm going to teach you different apps that you can download on your phone, okay? Or on your laptop, but I use my phone because it's easier with the phone, where you can get free patterns, and that's really nice, especially for beginners. And then you can choose, you know, like a beginner's level, because they'll tell you if it's a beginner's level, if it's not. And I wouldn't get into anything but like making, right now we're gonna be only making things that are like squared or triangled. We're not gonna, because the next stitches that I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna teach you a special stitch, and that is how to increase and decrease, okay, your stitches, which makes triangles, okay? So because the next pattern I'm going to teach you how to make something really fun for your kitchen, okay? Now this you could use as a washcloth, or you could use it as a dishcloth, whatever you want, all right? So what you're going to do is you're going to start again, do your slip knot, which is the crossover, go through the loop, slip knot, put it through, and notice how I am with the eye hook, okay? I'm on the eye hook. So now I'm gonna go and do my chain. So I'm gonna chain 20 chains. So I'm gonna start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see how when you're getting higher and higher, it's kind of hard. So between 4 and 5, you just move up, okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I got a chain of 20. Okay, you're gonna chain one because we're gonna go to this next level and we're gonna be working with single crochet, so you only need to chain one, right? And we're switching our needle over to the 8 hook. Okay, now there goes my first chain. We're not going to go into that one. We're going to go into the middle of the second one. All right, and you're going to yarn over, pull it through, have 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through. All right, and I'm going to go right across. Just watch me. I'm going to show you how to do this one. I'm just going to show you so you get an idea and you see me working. And that I struggle too. Man, the beginning chain is even hard for me sometimes, okay? Especially when I'm anxious and I want to make something. It takes forever. Because I want the project done and I'm on the first row, you know, so you know it happens. And just watch me crochet, watch how I'm moving my needle, watch the things that I'm doing. Okay, it helps. And you notice how I'm moving these fingers right along with the chain. And you notice how I'm putting my middle finger right here to help me put my needle through. That helps, okay? Instead of doing it in the plain air like this and doing it. Sometimes when you do it that way, you might catch the other thread. This way, it's easier. I don't know. I find it easier. But whatever makes you feel more comfortable, that's what you do. Okay? And notice how I'm cupping my needle as I'm moving. And it looks like a sewing machine action. It's kind of the same thing. Like your tension. This is your tension bar in the sewing machine. You notice how my finger moves up and down sometimes. Just like a sewing machine, okay? And believe me, this is, once you get this right here, the single crochet, everything else is easy. Everything else is so much easier. Okay, so we got 20 already across. Okay, there you go, and there's our first row. So now I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to start the second row, but I'll meet you. I'm going to do the first 3 stitches, and then I'll meet you at the end, okay, when I get to the end. So that was 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Now I'll meet you back here when I reach at the end. Okay, I'm on my last row and the last chain, the last stitch on the row. I have my last 2, pull it through, then I'm going to chain 1 and come over. Okay, and there you go. There goes our 2 rows. Now I'm gonna go all the way up to row 5, and then when I get there, I want to show you that sometimes we'll go and somebody will knock on the door and you drop your work, and then you come back and you'll be like, what row was I on? And then you think you have to take all your work out. You don't. You'll be able to tell. But I want to show you more when it's up higher so you could see it better. But you could see your 2 rows. Here's the bubbles. This is 1 row. This is 2 rows. But as you get bigger, you'll be able to notice them more, okay? Another thing is there's these little rings that you can buy and you put them on your finger. You can put them over here or over here, and every time you do a row, you click it, and then it'll stay there saying that you're on row 1, row 2, row 3, you know, and you keep clicking it. That's another thing for a beginner that it's really good to use, or somebody who's just busy, or let's say you just want to crochet at night before you go to bed. You just, you know, you have that, and it's a counter, and you can just, every time you do a row, you do it, and then you could take your ring off, set it to the side, and it's not gonna delete. It's gonna stay there because it's like manual. Okay, it's not something digital that it's gonna die, the battery will die or whatever. No, it's manually done, and you can, and there's a button that you could click to clear it. Okay, but that's a nice little tool to have too. Okay, so I'm gonna go into doing 3 more stitches here for you to see. Yarn over, pull through, go into my next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and my third stitch going in, yarn over, pull through, and there you go. All right, I did 3 stitches so far, and look at how nice and smooth it's, nice and square. Okay, so I'm gonna finish row 3, 4, and 5, and when I get on row 5, I'll be back to show you how you could see your stitches. Okay, and I did 6 rows instead of 5. Okay, and you see how nice and squared off it is, nice and squared off. That means I didn't miss any stitches, I didn't add, I didn't take away. That's how you know your work is fine. The minute that you see it start going like that, you know, like inward, like crocheting, and your ends are looking like this, that means that you're taking away stitches. If it goes beveled out, that means that you're adding stitches. Okay, so nice and square, perfect. And this is my right side of my work. Okay, and this is the wrong side. You notice how it's puffy? The wrong side is always like puffy and bubbly, and your right side is always nice and smooth. All right, now the way, and it's always easier, the bigger the piece, the easier it is to read your stitches. But there's like a line in here, and if you look at it really closely, you can see your lines. Okay, let me take this needle out, and you see how there's a line here and there's a line here. Every 2 rows it's gonna make like a line, and you could feel it too. Like here, there's a row, here's 2 rows, and here's 2 rows. You could see it more in the back, in your, and here you see the line that runs right here. That's 2 rows, that's 2 rows, and that's 2 rows. You see that? You just, can you see that little line that runs? Like, it's really faint, but you could see it. And it's with this size needle that we're using, it makes it about the width of your finger. Okay, so 1, that's 2, 4, 6. See, so I have 6 rows done. Okay, now I'm gonna quick do a row so you can see what it looks like when it's uneven, when it's an uneven number, like 7. Okay, that's an uneven number. All right, so let me quick run through here so you can see what it looks like. I'm not trying to show off, I'm just showing you. I mean, I'm not trying to show that I crochet like Speedy Gonzalez. I crochet a lot. Actually, I crochet a lot faster than this. I just, I usually have my work like right in front of me and stuff, because I take my glasses off and I use bifocals to read. So I mean, I don't even have to look. My fingers, I've been crocheting for so long that I don't need to look at the holes anymore. My fingers do all the work because I feel it. Okay, so I'm used to it that way. All right, let's pull that so you can see, and you see how. Let's put it on the wrong side. You see how if you look at it, you can see the 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, and you see that that's like a half a row. It's not as thick as this. You see how my fingers coming off? You see that? Okay, so it's 2, 4, 6, 7. See, row 7. So, and also, you know, because you just worked your wrong side, and I mean your right side, and your right side always is your odd numbers. Your wrong side is your even numbers. Okay, so if you're crocheting on this and going now notice how I'm going to row 8, so that's even. So my tail is on the wrong side. Okay, if I'm crocheting from here to this way, that's even numbers. That's another way that you can tell that you're on an even number. So you flip it and be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so it's 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm on the odd side, so I'm crocheting this way. So on the wrong side, so I'm on an even number. Okay, so now I'm going to crochet a couple rows so you could see. I'm going to crochet like let me see, I'm on 7. I'm going to crochet up to row 10, and then I'll be back so you can see what it looks like on row 10. Okay, and that's row 10. Okay, see it? Now I'm gonna do I'm gonna do 24 rows, and that should be big enough for a little washcloth or a face cloth, you know, like a little washcloth. Okay, so I'm gonna keep crocheting to row 24, and we're gonna see if that's big enough. I haven't done a washcloth in so long, I don't remember, but I'm gonna go. I'm on row 11 right now. I'm gonna go to row 24 and see if that, I think that would be a good size. All right, so I'm gonna crochet up to then the single crochet, and we're gonna see how that looks. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my little square patch. Let me move the camera upward a little bit so you can see. The whole patch. Yeah, you can see the whole little patch. That's 24 rows right there. See? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay? And I'm on the last stitch. And I'm going to show you how to close your stitch out. So, you have 2. You're going to yarn over. And that's your last stitch, right? So now you're going to yarn over and pull through that loop, making a chain, right? You're going to pull it out, and you're going to cut it. I usually make them long because so the tail's long, so it's easier to sew in. And then you're going to cut it like I did and pull it. Okay, and there you go. You have your little square. And the way that I hide it is I get a darning needle. And don't mind me. This is for me, so yeah, I did that. You can wet it and thread it through. And a darning needle, you get them. They're the fat needles with the big eyes. You can get them right where they sell the crochet hooks. All right, and let me explain this to you, and then I'm gonna explain some other things real quick. All right. Now you see where you're right here, your stitches where they make the X's like. You want to feed your needle right in there and feed it right in the middle. See how you don't see it on this side or this side? Going through, because you're going right through the middle. And you want to go as far as your needle goes, okay, which would be right there. You see how it's in there? You go in and pull it through, right? And then you want to skip one of these and go right through back again the same way as far as your thread will go. Sometimes I run out of thread. Okay, I'm going to go as far as there. You don't have to go all the way to the end, but you just go back like that and pull your needle out. And there you go. Just cut it. It ain't going to go nowhere. And your stitches will not come out. Okay? Alright, I'm going to show you it one more time with the beginning one. Alright? Usually I do that. You could do it with a spray bottle, but for me, this is mine. I don't care. I'm going to probably use this to clean anyways. And you know, you at home will do the same exact thing. Oh. Don't tell me you won't. This is what all sewers do. This is what all crocheters do. Knitters, everybody, we all do it. There we go, thread it through. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go through the X's in here. Let me find them. Okay, right here they are. And just go through, right through the stitches. As far as your needle will go, pull it through, go skip one stitch and go back again. And you don't have to go all the way back, like I said. You can go up to 2 or 3 stitches. You don't, as long as you go backwards, at least 3 stitches is fine. Okay. There you go. And voila. You got a little washcloth. Okay. You could use it for cleaning. That's what I'm going to use it for right here. I use it for cleaning here. You could use it for whatever. You could use it as a little mat for whatever. You know, put a little figurine on if you want. You could sew on or glue on a little flower and put a little vase on it. I mean, anything. Whatever you want. But this is your first little square patch that you did. Okay? So, now about the needles. Let me tell you where you can get the best savings. I find that buying needles at Walmart is the cheapest place to buy the they have, my favorite needle is Boyd. See, they're the B-O-Y-E, Boy. That's my favorite. There's another one that's called Susan Bates. They're all right, but see, mine's are all boy. That's a needle that I like to use. Um, you can buy them at Walmart, the cheapest. They're really expensive online. Do not buy them on Amazon. You will pay like $5 for one needle. It's ridiculous. Or you'll pay like $30 for that little kit that I told you, that little leather pouch. Yeah, they want too much money. You can buy them at Walmart. That's where I find them cheaper. The second cheapest place is Hobby Lobby, but they're not boy and they're not Susie B. Anthony either. I mean Susan Bates. That's it, Susan Bates. Those are the two most popular needles because of their durability. Like, look, you can't bend these. They don't bend. But when you go to Hobby Lobby, they have their own brand name. I forget what the name of it is. They're the cheapest, but they bend a little bit. You gotta watch. They're aluminum. These are aluminum too, but these are more like solid compared to over there. Do not buy any fancy needles until you've been doing this for a while. Do not buy wooden needles. You'll snap them. You'll break them. Believe me. You don't want to buy plastic needles either. You'll snap them. You're going to break them. Buy these metal aluminum ones. And like I said, the best brand is Boy or Susan Bates. She's the next best ones, okay, that you can purchase. Another thing that you're gonna need is a little snipping scissors. I have these because they're portable. You fold them and put them away. Well, yeah, you can fold them and put them away. Well, I used to be able to fold them and put them away. I don't know what happened. Oh, there they go. You fold them and put them away like that. All right, I have these for 1,001 years. Like, I've had these scissors forever. They're nice. I mean, they have fancier ones like these online that you can buy. I just like a simple scissors. Another thing that you want to get is that little finger thing. I'll show you that on my next video. I'll show you that little counter thing. And you want to get a set of darning needles. They sell it in this little thing that looks like a bullet. That's nice because you have the different sizes, and the different shapes. You see how this needle has a little hook. I like these. These are easy because you slide it in and stuff, and they're nice, and they have a little bit of a point. Okay, so there's the regular rounded and straight ones. Okay, and that's basically all you need to get, and your yarn. Always buy the 1-pounders. It's cheaper. Or you can go to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has their own name brands, yarn, acrylic yarn. And always, I'm telling you, don't get into the fancy yarn until you know for sure that this is something you want to do, because crochet is not for everybody. Not everybody likes crocheting. Some people find it frustrating. And I'm going to tell you, it's scientifically fact that it helps you with depression, anxiety, and it's a good form of therapy. Do you know that football players are taught to crochet? Yes, football players are taught to crochet because it's one of the most relaxing and, I don't know, it's just therapeutic, okay? This has been very therapeutic for me when I'm not feeling well, when I'm sad, down and out, when I'm depressed or whatever. That's when you're going to see me. Either I'm going to crochet or I'm going to draw and paint. Um, but I draw to crochet first. All right. So until our next time, um, I'm gonna try to post every week if I can. I know I have like the beginning of the month, I'm like really busy, but I still want to crochet for you every week. I want to teach you a new stitch, a new pattern, and move on and give you some tips and ideas. And I'm also gonna recommend that, excuse me, I'm sorry, that if you do want to continue crocheting and you want to really do it and you find it fun and you find it relaxing, there's a book that's called 101 Crochet Stitches. That's a really good book to have. And later on, I'm going to be teaching you how to read patterns and stuff like that. If you want to get that book, it's called 101 Crochet Stitches. I'm not sure what the author's name is. I'm going to see if I can pull it out and show it to you on my next video. But there's so many different stitches on there for you to learn, that once you learn all the basics, and they teach you there too how to crochet step by step, the chain, the single crochet, double, treble, okay, and then they have you doing blocks like this, and I'm going to teach you how to read those things. Also, they have to make on the back of the book, I'll show you patterns to make, like the granny squares, flowers, trim, lace, crocheted lace, crocheted ribbon. It shows you how to do that. But that's all in advance. You won't get to that level. I mean, some people catch it really quick and will crochet a whole dress in a month. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's up to you how fast you want to go, and or how slow you want to go. Okay? So, until next week, I'll see you then, and I hope to see you again then, and I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment down below. You also, if you go into the description box, my email address is there. You can email me at any time you're stuck with and have a question about something, and you need help further. I can help you through there, or we can find some way that we can communicate, and I can help you. I also have a Facebook page. I also have Messenger. Okay, so if you and my Facebook is the same as this, the Gladys Creations Part 2. It's the same thing. It's the same name for Facebook, and that's my business page, and you can get a hold of me there. I also have an Instagram. You can get a hold of me there too. I have all those pages open all the time. I check my email like 50,000 times a day. So, yes, you could contact me through there. And I would like to see you, your square. Go to my email and take a picture, a screenshot picture, and send it to me, and let me know who you are, what's your handle name and stuff on here. Leave me a comment and say, hey, I sent you an email with my picture, and then I'll know that it's you, or put your email handle on there plus your name, and then if you want me to share it and show off what you made, then so be it. And if you are a crocheter and you have been doing this for a little bit and you're just doing this to refresh yourself a little bit and you have a crochet project that you made, you could share it with me also. Send me an email of that and I'll share it on here. Okay, so with that, that's all for today. So until next week, bye. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad that you stopped by. I hope that you to see you again next week. I'll have some more information for you. And make sure that if you have any questions, go down in the comment section and post there or send me an email. Like I told you in the description box, I have many ways that you can contact me. So I look forward to seeing you again. And like I said, once a week I will be posting. And every time there'll be a free pattern for you at the end from what you have learned from. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye. See you next week. Stay blessed